4th weekend, and then the other is the weekend at the end of July.
That's awesome.
I'm also going to be appearing at a steampunk convention. I believe it's in October, and then I have another appearance at Ville GalaxyCon, which is in November as well. And then, as I mentioned earlier, there's a bunch of titles that are going to be releasing, not only through Amazon, but also in the physical stores, Books A Million, and as I found out today, looks like Barnes & Noble will be pulling in titles as well.
Oh, wow, that's great.
So a lot of things happening.
Do you ever offer any of your books free on Kindle or for like Kindle Unlimited? If people just want to get like a feel for your work once your work comes down on your site, will you have anything offered for someone to kind of, or have like samples, like at the beginning they can read a few of your pages?
Yeah, so that will be out there. And we'll also be running some contests for people to sign up for a chance to win signed copies. So that'll be coming out as well. So yeah, there's going to be lots of opportunity for people to kind of read my material. And, the biggest problem we have is, and I'll warn everybody now, those who think that they are going to go out to one of my live events to pick up copies, you'll definitely want to make sure that you get in there on the first day and get a copy, because every show, and we're going back 14, 15 shows now, every show that I appear in, all the books sell out.
Dang.
Wow.
So by Saturday evening, if somebody hasn't gotten their book, it's gone. They're all gone. And we're talking, at a minimum, 160 to 200 books per weekend.
Wow.
So, yeah, so you'll want to make sure if you're in there to get a copy of Grace Flynn during one of my live events, you're going to want to get there as soon as possible, because we sell out, and we sell it fast, and I feel bad when someone comes on Sunday looking for the book, So I just want to let people know, because we've definitely, had to turn away people on Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon coming back to try and pick up a copy of literally anything that I've written. I mean, we literally, knock on wood, the past year and almost two, we've been selling out at every event.
Wow. I would say since starting in 2005, and you've really come a long way. If you're selling out at conventions now, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not been easy. It's definitely been a long road, but perseverance pays off. And I have built up a fan base through North America, Canada, and through Europe as well. We've had books sell in Europe.
Wow.
So I've got a big fan base over there. So it's definitely exciting, and there is some stuff coming that still can't quite mention just yet. But there are some new things coming from Cathal Entertainment, along with partners of ours who have kind of joined up with us. I've been put in a position to essentially relaunch and possibly, or launch for the first time, a fiction series for existing intellectual properties. So this video game company that I'm closely working with right now, I'm going to be building an entire fiction line for them. And then there is a classic intellectual property that has been around for quite a long time and influenced many generations, that has pulled me in to essentially write something on the scale of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We have a friend named Brian K. Morris, and I think you two ought to get in touch, because he is very much up your alley. Like he is passionate about like classic pulp, like characters and franchises, and you two, I think, would get along real well.
That sounds good. You'll definitely have to do the introductions. I'm always looking for people who are interested in that sort of fiction. Like I said, it's had a big influence on my life, and I think, a lot of things that people have said about my work too is that it definitely has a vibe of the old pulp fiction, but with a nouveau and new twist.
Right.
So it's kind of modernizing that style of writing, if you will. So yeah, I mean, there's, like you said, 2005. It's now 2019. It's been a long road. My agent has actually been working with a script for the Grace Flynn novel that we've actually presented to several entities with the possibility of maybe seeking some sort of live action kind of production.
Wow.
So there's definitely a lot of things on the hurdle right now that we're trying to get over. But Grace Flynn, for those of you who don't know, she also has her own wine, which is sold by Hidden Legend Winery. I don't produce it, but it is out there for sale. It's called Grace Flynn's Scarver Mead. There's also a Grace Flynn Captain's Coat, which was exclusively made by a company out of Canada that you have to look it up. Their name is literally like slipping through my brain right now, and I can't remember their name. But they make fantastic medieval clothing, and they have a Grace Flynn Captain's Coat that's out there for sale, and it's really nice. And if you're into LARP or cosplay or just dressing up, and you want to dress like Grace Flynn, because we do have a Grace Flynn lookalike contest every year with a $250 prize. So yeah, definitely check that out. And like I said, the Might and Mystic, which is I think you'll appreciate this. I like to call Might and Mystic the gateway RPG game. So basically, I wanted to create a system. Like I was buying, RPGs and board games for my daughter so I could introduce her to that. And when I would buy them, I noticed that they took literally almost an hour to set up. And you're not going to hold a young child hostage for an hour while you're trying to set up a game.
Right.
So I figured I needed some sort of game that was kind of like a throwdown kind of RPG game that was a little quick and easy to understand, and the fact that you could put it in front of anyone who was mildly interested in the RPG universe, and let them get into it. So I created a system. It is a D6 based system with a twist, because there's a certain part of the game that kind of makes it different. I don't want to give it away, and I want people to experience it firsthand. But essentially, it's a narrative game. So there's a narrator, and then there are up to four players, and it's a narrative-driven game with dice that is used to determine action and combat. And it is a very simplistic system. It's meant to be that way, and it's meant to be exciting and fun. So it was, if you could think of, as strange as it sounds, think of D&D mixed with Monopoly.
Wow, that's different.
It's literally supposed to be open the box and play within 5 minutes.
Wow.
And we've tested it, and my 8-year-old daughter picked it up in 3. So I think we have a winner. And
yeah, I'd say so.
Games before in her life, and it's exciting, and I think people are going to get a big kick out of it. What's great is all of the artwork for the game, with the exception of a couple pieces, was done by Larry Elmore.
Oh, very nice. He is classic. Yeah.
So Larry Elmore is actually one of my best friends. He's an amazing artist and world-renowned. And when I told him about the project that I was working on, he definitely wanted to get involved and helped, and he did. And we have exclusive art for the game that is from Larry. And, I've big D&D fan from the day, and I definitely wanted this to feel like, retro, classic type of thing. And, bringing in Larry, who was one of the original artists for Dungeons & Dragons, bringing him into Might and Mystic, definitely will bring the fans of that, the old Red Box and the old games from way back when. It'll have them, introduced to this. And I'm hoping that this game helps a lot of people who have maybe been curious about role-playing games or just want to get, a casual game. Because as D&D players get older, it's hard to commit 2 hours or 3 hours of your time to roll up a character and, put all your stats and spend an hour creating characters and then another 12 hours playing a campaign. A lot of people don't have that time.
Well,
so most of the narratives in this Might and Mystic only last an hour.
Well, my girlfriend here, she used to be married to her ex-husband was a big RPG player, so much that it just consumed his life and everything else, and it was a bit unhealthy for him. And what was hard for her to get into initially was like just building the characters. It would take hours sometimes to do so.
No, so these characters are all pre-generated.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it as crazy as it sounds. You pick a character, you pick your tool that you use for the game, and you open the book, start reading, go.
Nice,
So,
very nice.
It's literally what we like to call read, set, roll.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally pick up and play. You don't need pencils. You don't need a calculator. You don't need everything. Everything you need is included in the box. You literally open it up, read a one-page card for your instructions, and start playing.
Very nice. Now, the gaming, the fiction set in the gaming universe. Do you think one day, and I'm hoping this will come to pass? Do you think one day we'll see that in the same shelving area of Barnes and Noble where we see like the books of like Dragonlance and Forgotten Realms and stuff like that?
Yes. So the good news is that process has already started.
Mm-hmm.
So the books from Shadowsea are going to start making their way in. The books from Flynn Chronicles and the new books from the Realms of Parlos, which is the base universe for Might and Mystic, are all going to start in Books A Million and Barnes & Noble probably within the next 6 to 8 months in that very section you're talking about.
Very nice. Awesome. Well, we're getting close to the end of the show. Is there anything else you'd like to ask him?
No. I'm just pretty. I think I'm pretty entranced with the Grace Flynn character. I think that's pretty awesome. So, kudos for that, for creating her and her having such an impact on everybody.
Yeah, Grace is like I said, to me, when you're a creator or you're a painter or you're a comic writer or a comic illustrator, as a creative person, when you create something that essentially takes on a life of its own, whether it's a Gandalf or Bilbo or Harry Potter or Wonder Woman or a Batman or a Superman, and then to have your character like Grace Flynn, reach the pinnacle in people's minds on the same level as those characters, and when you have fans you and say, I think Grace Flynn is the modern Wonder Woman. Like, what do you say to something like that? As a creator of someone like Grace Flynn, you just thank your lucky stars that the universe allowed Grace to be born through you.
Right.
And, she is an amazing character. She has changed my life. And, as her creator, she has had a direct impact on me. She has had a direct impact on my family, on my daughter, and my friends, and everyone around me. There are people that not only have supported me over the years, but they are supporting Grace Flynn and saying, how fortunate are you that you have been able to create such a character that transcends you as a person and transcends tropes and transcends all sorts of stigmas and allows the reader, whether they be male or female, to go on an adventure with a person. Yes, Grace is a woman. Yes, she's a heroine, but at the end of the day, she's also a person. And for both sexes to have the ability not only to love her, worship her, or believe in her, there's no greater thing in this world. And when I hear people say how much they love her, and I think Grace is, she's a make-believe character, but when someone comes up and says they love this character, they love her. And to me, it's like you've created something for someone else that they can put in their heart and mind and find inspiration or love or adventure through, and to have them to share the love with you as the creator. There's no greater thing, honestly.
Well said. Very well said. And we it's been an honor having you on the show, Phil. And
well, thank you, and it's been an honor speaking with you both, and I hope I was able to answer not only your questions, but any of the questions of your fans. Mm-hmm. And I extend the invitation to any one of your listeners who happens to be at a show to come by and let me know that they heard the interview, and I will certainly have a very special gift for them.
Awesome. So. Well, thank you again for being on our show, Phil. It was quite an honor.
thank you. It was an honor to be here, and I wish you the best of luck with your show. And if